You are listening to episode number 3 of the Sustainable Living for the Family, Health, and Home podcast. Do you really want to work on having lasting wealth and really knowing what simple things you can do to keep more money in your pockets and live frugally, simply, and wisely? In this video, I'm giving you my top 10 tips to grow and sustain long-lasting wealth. Please keep in mind I am not a financial advisor, but I am a mom and someone wanting to have quality and value for my family in all that we do, including how we steward our finances and what we do with what we have been given. So if you need personal and individualized financial counseling, please seek the help of a qualified financial professional. Hey, this is Dr. Monique Adu, a pediatrician turned homeschool mom and keeper of my home. Welcome to my podcast, Sustainable Living for the Family, Health, and Home. In this podcast, we are going to be talking about all things sustainability and always striving to live our best in terms of the life-giving practices that we can do to build longevity and to fulfill our purpose in life. We are going to be talking about things concerning our family, home, gardening, homeschooling, health, nutrition, and so much more. I'm so glad you're here. We are talking about the 10 tips that we can all use to build a wealth mindset. What simple tools can we use to really have true wealth in life and sustainable wealth as well? Let's get started. Tip number 1. Live below your means. No matter how much money we amass, no matter how much wealth we have, it is so important and it is wise to live below your means, not above or even at your means of spending. Because when you do so, you will build for yourself a reserve and reservoir of wealth that you can then bless others with. If you're living above your means, you will tend to spend more than what you should, and then therefore you wouldn't be able to be a blessing for others. So living below your means is a very, very effective tool that actually many rich people do. You may not hear about it, but there are many books written about the tools and tips of some of the world's richest people, and contrary to what we see in the media, there are quite a few people with high wealth that literally live in houses and dress in ways that you would not even expect. They are living below their means and they are able to still amass more wealth and even to be a help to others by giving to charities or by giving to help to sponsor people that may need help. Number 2, avoid the comparison trap. It is easy to feel like we want to have what others are having, or it is easy to feel like the grass is greener on the other side, but you don't know what that other person may be going through or how they obtain the wealth that they have. Comparing ourselves to others is never a fruitful endeavor. Yes, we may start to wonder, how did that person come about having what they have? But never let it get to the point where you are continuously dwelling upon what others have. As the Bible tells us, we are not to focus on another man's things. We are not to focus on what this world may bring and the quote treasures of this earth, but actually we are to build treasures in heaven. And if we are to be doing that, then we could never be comparing ourselves with others and seeking and wanting or even envying what others have. It is just an exercise in futility if we do that. Number 3, being content and thankful for what you have. Having a spirit of thankfulness will bring you joy, it will bring you peace, and because you are content and thankful, you are not continuously seeking and looking to build upon what you have in terms of earthly things. You will start looking out and seeing how you can reach out and help others, how you can reach out and be a joy for others. When you have thankfulness and contentment in your heart, you find satisfaction in even the littlest and simple things of life, not the things that money may bring, because oftentimes the things that money may bring are transient and they do not last. Number 4, growing your skill where you are. No matter what level of finance you have, growing your skills, learning how to go about and do practical things in your home, whether it be cooking, gardening, learning how to make something such as a new furniture build, or teaching your children a new skill. All these things money cannot buy. These are skills that come from experience and perseverance and the will to want to learn and know more. These are the things that no matter how much money you have, they can never be taken away, because you have stored them in your mind and they live with you no matter where you end up in this world, no matter where you go. You will still have these skills that you can then multiply by teaching others and also use wherever you are, no matter how much wealth in terms of monetary wealth you have. Pay off your debts. Number 5, pay off your debt. Pay off your debt while balancing your home. It is so important to be able to pay off your debt as much as you can. Do this, however, in a balanced manner. You want to make sure that you can still provide for yourself and family. So paying off your debt as best as you can, whether you do it in small increments, whether you cancel a subscription and use that money to pay off your debt, you can do it. And you will be stronger once you have done this big step. There are so many of us in debt. And sometimes debt can come because we have to get a project done and we didn't have the upfront finances for it, or we have a large expense such as buying a home or these other things in life. Want to try and work on paying off that debt as best as you can, whether it be learning a trade or doing something more on the side. If you're able to increase some income, do it as best as you can so that you don't have to be a servant to the lender. Number 6, not spending big in order to live big. Many of us feel like we have to spend lots of money in order to have a nice time. This is what media portrays to us. We see people out, they are eating and spending money on drinking and going to parties and all these things and as I mentioned in another video, spending money on trips. But this is not necessary in order to have a nice time. You don't have to spend big to have a nice time. What provides us with a nice time is the experience we have, and oftentimes it's just the simple joys of being with our loved ones and family members, or just taking some time out for ourselves to have a peaceful time of reflection. It doesn't take a lot of money, and it's all about the experience, not how much we spend. Number 7, experiences over spending. Try and make sure that when you are planning to spend money, that you are spending for the experience rather than just for spending's sake. It is so important to make sure that we are being frugal and living as frugally and wisely as we can, so that we don't have regrets in the back end of things after we have already completed all that spending. Number 8, thinking in a frugal and simple living mindset. If you already have a mindset of frugality, you count your pennies and spending wisely, and you already have a mindset that you are content with simple living, you have so much less stress and worry. Number 9, please do not incur more debt if you still have debt that you haven't paid off. Try your best, as I mentioned before in another video, to buy what you need with cash and avoid using credit cards or taking out loans for things that you don't necessarily need. If it's not an emergency and it's not something that you need to go about your everyday and practical living, then please leave it there and reconsider the purchase when you have the money to pay for it. And number 10, this is one of the biggest ones. There is wealth in your health. If you really make sure that you spend time in doing things that will bring wealth into your life in terms of how healthy you are, how healthy your family is, making homemade foods, using organic and homegrown vegetables, fruits, working on getting and sourcing organic, non-GMO, and wholesome, nutritious foods, you will have built in so much wealth in the back end of your life that all the other things will just be so much easier to fall into place. There are many people that we have sadly seen that do not have their health, yet they have high amounts of wealth. But there's only so much that wealth can do for you if you don't have your health. Purposeful lifestyle about what you are going to be putting in your body, feeding your family with, what you expose yourself to, whether it be by food, whether it be by things you put on your skin, whether it be exposures via chemicals, making sure that you live a clean lifestyle, making sure that whatever you put before you is uplifting, healthy, and something to build you up. It will give you physical health, health in your mind, and health in your spirit. And these are the top pillars that we all need to build a healthy and really, truly a wealthy mindset. If you have these things, then you truly can have long lasting wealth, and then all the other things fall into place. Thank you so much for listening and joining me in on this podcast. Please leave a review below so that others can hear about a podcast that you have found value in and enjoy. You can follow me on my website at www.drmoniqueadu.com, as well as my YouTube channel, Sustainable Living for Family, Health, and Home.